What do I think about Russia? What is my perspective about Russia? Will I still advise people to come to Russia? My perspective about Russia has still not changed. I still like the country as a country. I still like the president. But yeah, I still like the president. I still like the people. To my YouTube channel. My name is Funtoa. I'm a Nigerian living and studying in Moscow, Russia. If this is your first time on my YouTube channel, check it out for you. If you are a returning subscriber, jingle bell for you. It's another video, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about our 2 years experience living under sanction in Russia, what it is like living under sanction, and what has changed, what has happened, cost of living, just literally run you guys through what is happening in Russia right now. And I'm filming this video also during election period. Sanctions started how many months ago? The sanctions started January 2022 and this is March 2024. So it's like 2 good years after the whole war started, after the whole sanction thing started. And one major question everybody has been asking is, how did you survive? How have you been surviving? What is it like being in Russia at this moment? What cost of living, security, a lot of questions. I'm going to be looking at the notes I wrote down so I do not miss out on anything that I want to discuss. I'm going to be looking at my phone today, so please bear with me guys. Let's get started. So I think the first thing I actually even need to talk about is the fact that this whole sanction thing literally took a toll on a lot of African students. Okay, let me say international students, because the exchange rate of dollars, euros on pounds went up. It was like fluctuating a lot. Like even when the whole sanction started, there was a surge, and we were all happy that, oh, the money has gone up, the money has gone up, and all of a sudden it dropped. Like I remember at that time it really affected my school fees, because I got my tuition fee and my hostel fee for like my second year, and by the time I was going to change the money to rubles, it had already lost the value. So I was only able to get money for my tuition fee and like 2 months of my accommodation. So it was a lot. It was really a lot. But I mean, where are we today? So I think the first thing we're going to address is cost of living. The cost of living has been a roller coaster. Like I don't know how to explain how we went into inflation and how prices of things went up. I remember when I just came to Russia, that was like late 2021, like around November, December-ish. I remember that I used to get like a bag of rice for like a 5 kg bag of rice for like 100 and something rubles. And after the sanction and during the sanction, everything just went up, like went that. And it's just been a whole lot after that time, like food, groceries, vegetables, fruit, everything. Cost of living, even taxi fare went up. Like now you cannot get taxi fare of like 100 and something rubles in Moscow. Like it's the cost of living has gone up. So I'm even going to do like a review of the cost of living for international students that I did last year, to let you guys know that things are not the same as they used to be. Before, you can spend like 2,000 rupees a month on grocery shopping. Now you cannot spend that amount of money. I was doing grocery shopping like sometimes last month, and I had to call my friend Chris. I'm like, Chris, how? I did not even know how I put like 2 things in the basket and boom, I've already paid 5,000 rupees for groceries. Kilo shele. Like why? Like before, 5,000 rupees like last you 2 months. You would do grocery shopping for like 2 months before the sanction. Then I would get a basket and fill my basket with about 1,000 rupees stuff. But now you cannot do that, because all the companies left and things just automatically went up, because now they have to import a lot of things. To finding items that are made abroad in Russia now is pretty difficult. For instance, you hardly find products like H&M. You would not find products like, since they left, Mojito left, a lot of companies left. like McDonald's left, Starbucks left. So a lot of these things, a lot of these products, when it comes to clothing, when it comes to shoes, when it comes to food stuff, when it comes to tech stuff like cameras, phones, you can't find them anymore. They left and it's not made the same. So even like if you are buying Apple products in Russia now, you buy at an extremely high rate, which I feel like is because of the sanction, right? It's just not easy getting things that are not produced in Russia. Most of the things you get now are like made in Russia, made in Kazakhstan, made in all these neighboring countries, right? So that one to give. Also, job opportunities is also something that I think has really affected us in Russia since the sanction, post-sanction. Prior to the sanction, prior to the whole outbreak of the war, or scrap that, prior to the whole military operation or whatever they call it, prior to that, there were a lot of international companies here where international students can they can work legit. Even my school had partnerships with some of these companies. I think that was one of the reasons why I actually chose HSC when I was coming, because I mean there are other universities I could have gone to, but because HSC had partnerships with international organizations like UNICEF, KPMG, they had, you know, the big four like KPMG, Deloitte, those, yeah, the big fours, right? HSC had partnerships with them, but prior to the sanction and the military operation, these companies left. Even Amnesty International left, because those in the human rights track of my program were supposed to like work at Amnesty International, but then they couldn't work there anymore because Amnesty left. So all these big companies and international companies also left, which also limited students or international students to job opportunities, because most of these international companies speak English, right? Necessarily they would need people that speak English as well. But since I left, we do not have job anymore. So we're left with either teaching English or being able to speak Russian so you can work in Russian companies and all of that. And even Russian companies, of course, they would pick their people before they pick you. So that's also another problem we're experiencing post-sanction. So I think our daily life also like took a turn. I feel like people living in Russia, like I mentioned in the intro part of this video, people living in Russia are very resilient, and I must acknowledge the fact that people are like, nobody's letting this whole sanction thing get to them, as much as we are not all in a good space to say okay, but Russians are resilient. And I think for academics, like this is another point, for academics like me, people that are doing PhD here, it's difficult for us as well, because a lot of these journals pulled out of Russia. A lot of these journals, when you go to their website, it's telling you access denied, or they tell you that this website is not existing in your country or something. So it's very difficult for us to do our research as well. And you know, when you have timelines to meet, or you have deadlines to meet, it puts a lot of stress on you. So that's another problem. It's not, right now, journals are pulling out, journals are not allowing you to publish on their websites. Sometimes you send your journals for publication and then they reject your journals, because they reject your articles because you are publishing from Russia, right? Which is not fair on us, to be honest. So that has also been a problem for us as well. And I think that with this whole sanction thing, I think one of the benefits of this whole sanction thing is the fact that I can see how dependent of a nation Russia is. Russia is very dependent. If this whole sanction thing was to be tried on African countries, I doubt if those countries will still be standing tall. Like, despite the sanctions, Russia has forged ahead. Russia has done a lot of things. I remember when the whole sanction thing started, they blocked SWIFT from making transactions with Russian banks, and it was just like this. The Russian government and Russia in itself and its government and its people, they were able to come up with another transaction system for us, which is called MER, and it's not being used in like 15 countries, including African countries, which is applaudable. I think that's one of the benefits of this whole thing. You can see how the country is very dependent and it's not relying on the West for anything. And the advantage of this whole sanction that I see is the fact that it makes international students want to learn the language more. Well, I'm not learning the language, but that's straight from that day. But I think it's encouraging people to learn the language, because when there are no international organizations, you have to work, you have to earn money, right? And you just need to be able to learn so you can work. And I think one of the things I also like is the fact that the partnership during this whole sanction thing, there's been a partnership with African countries. It's a good thing if we look at it from the positive side and not look at it from the Western media angle, where everything about them is just propaganda and all of that. It's a positive thing. Russia is partnering with other African countries to bring experts from there to teach their kids African languages, such as Swahili, Afrikaans, and 2 other languages. But yeah, that's the old. I think, to be honest, there's a plus side and a negative side to this whole sanction thing. But at the end of the day, I'm just going to say that life has not been the same. But are we doing good? Pretty much, we are living comfortably. It's not more expensive to live in Russia. I mean, more expensive to live in Russia, but not as expensive as living in other part of Europe or North America, if I'm being honest. Now I spend like 5,000 rubles a month, rent inclusive, grocery shopping inclusive, transport inclusive, maybe 5 to like 10,000 rubles ish. And other things, maybe like I'm buying food from outside and all of that. But I cannot spend. I mean, if you convert that to dollars, that's like about $100, right? Maybe more than $100. You can't spend that in a month in any other part of the world. So prior to now, like this whole sanction, we will spend less than that. We are spending up to that now, so I think that's just the whole thing. After this whole sanction thing, what do I think about Russia? What is my perspective about Russia? Will I still advise people to come to Russia? My perspective about Russia has still not changed. I still like the country as a country. I still like the president. But yeah, I still like the president. I still like the people. It's still a safe environment for me. Election is going on. We don't even know election is going on. It's going to be taking place. Everyone is doing good. Would I advise people to come to Russia? Yes, if you how do I put it? You can come to Russia if you can afford paying your bills. If you have other means of income, other source of income. Do not come to Russia if you're not on scholarship. That is one of the major advice I've been giving people that have been writing me lately. If you're on scholarship, come to Russia. It's safe. Nobody's killing anybody. It's been 2 years and we're still alive and we're still filming videos. Nobody's arresting anybody. Yeah, pretty much. And that brings us to the end of today's video. If you enjoyed this video, please do not forget to like, do not forget to share, do not forget to turn on do not forget to turn your post notification bell to get notified every time I post a new video. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.